This nationals would really mean a lot to me. If I get first, I think I'd be the happiest person in the world. I definitely want to win again. Everybody is trying to beat you when you're up there. It's like an invisible race, and you just have to hope that you're working just as hard as everybody else.
I feel pressure, not just like from other people. I feel more pressure coming from myself.
Before, I wouldn't want to go into a competition unless I felt like I could win it.
The Nationals. Kim ZMESKAL won her third in 1992. It made her one of the best Americans ever. In 1991, she was even champion of the world. As a favorite, she was set to take the next step, and the biggest one there is. But the Olympics of Barcelona turned out to be a haunting misstep. Now, with her sport rocketing ahead, Kim, at 22, is trying to prove she can keep up and come back. Dominique Moceanu's tale is a similar one, just not as old. In '95, when just 13, she was the USA champion. All wrapped up in the magical deja vu provided by mentor Bella Caroli. Dominique was headed to the Olympics and Atlanta. There, she would join a most magnificent seven and win gold. Individually, it was different, and all the dreams of standing on the podium alone came crashing down. A year later, she seemed ready to fall off the gymnastics mat. But you know what? She's 6 inches taller and sweating the details so that she can have that other chance. A parade of past national champions coming to Indianapolis includes one Vanessa ATLER, who knows how cool it is to be on top. A year ago, that's where she was, ready to be the one. Then she stood before a demon, and in a blink, she lost her grip on the lead. She shared the title of best in the U.S. Ever since, the uneven bars have led her to a crisis of confidence. KRISTEN Maloney's resume includes no such razzmatazz. All she's been is the rock of Team USA. And with a family-like group from Pennsylvania, she's come to win something the likes of which she's never known. The right to say, this is my time in the Nationals. NBC Sports presents the 1998 USA Gymnastics Championships. Just who is it? Who is the best? That is what we will find out in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight, the preliminary round. Tomorrow night on NBC, we'll crown the champion. Our coverage comes to you from Market Square Arena, the home of the NBA's Indiana Pacers. It seems as though every member of Team USA is black and blue, injured in some way or another. Take, for example, Dominique Moceanu, the recent Goodwill Games gold medalist. She hyperextended her knee, and there you see the wrap on it. Doctors told her they didn't think competing was a good idea. She is here nonetheless. So is Penn Argyl, Pennsylvania's KRISTEN Maloney, although she has a stress fracture of the tibia in her right leg, the larger of the two bones. Vanessa ATLER's ready to take everybody on. The intelligent young woman is the 1997 co-national champion. We'll start things off with floor exercise. I'm Al Trautwig along with Tim Daggett and Elfie Schlegel. The first performer is Dominique Moceanu.
Al, this will be a tough test for Dominique considering that injury. She really has had limited training in the past couple of weeks. In fact, most of it has taken place here in Indianapolis.
Well, that first tumbling passed the first test for Dominique and her knee. She dealt with it fine.
She looked pretty good to me.
Well, we're seeing a much more mature Dominique out there, and she worried about the setback with the knee, but I'll tell you, that was good.
I think it's safe to say that Dominique Moceanu is back on the scene. She'll meet up with her coach, Luminita Mishenko. The two speak Romanian together. And of course, Dominique, like Kim Zmeska, was once trained by Bella Caroli. We're about to see Kim on the beam. Let's go back and check the score for Dominique Moceanu. On floor exercise, 9.425. And as we go across to Kim, of her, we must say, it has been a long time.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the balance beam, please welcome Kim Zmeska.
Kim's last major international competition, 1992, the Olympic Games. But it was here in Indy in 1991. She was the world all-around champion.
So good memories might be flooding back, although the competition was not held here. It was held at the RCA Dome.
She says actually her best gymnastics memories ever, right here.
Look, and up. Good job.
You can hear Mary Lee Tracy in the background. She's coaching Kim Zmeskal now. She says it's an honor, and not much has really changed. She remembered Kim as an athlete back then and said she needs constant approval, and Kim always looks to her to see what to do next. She says she doesn't want to make any decisions by herself.
Come on, Kim, you gotta be really aggressive. Quick punch, arms. Arms.
I tell you, starting off on balance beam, very, very mentally difficult, but she was one of the toughest mental athletes.
Tim, we used to always sit back and just put our pens down because we knew Kim Zmeskal would always hit.
I asked her, what do you think before beam? She says, it's like a showdown. I don't let the beam do anything. I put my feet where I want to put them.
Come on, Kim, strong legs. Strong, strong, round.
Mom Clarice and Coach Mary Lee Tracy with her all the way. Maybe 22 isn't too old.
Well, you know, she's the first one to admit that she has a long way to go, but this is what she can handle now, and she's doing it very well.
That was a tremendous start, especially for the balance beam in Kim Zmeskal. Great.
This was one of the more difficult tumbling combinations in Kim's balance beam routine. Shades of 1992, 2 double layouts, and she does them perfectly.
The judges give her a score of 9.40. The battle has begun in Indianapolis.
The 1998 U.S. Gymnastics Championships are brought to you by John Hancock, worldwide Olympic sponsor. Insurance for the unexpected, investments for the opportunities.
Kim Zmeskal knows that her best chance to win an Olympic gold medal probably came when she was 16 years old in Barcelona. That didn't work out. What she does have is a world championship to cherish. Now she's 22, well beyond the average, and trying to reinvent herself.
I think I'm a little bit afraid of having other people see me as, oh, this is Kim Zmeskal who won world championships, was in the Olympics, and kind of expect me to be that same person again, where I'm completely not. It was kind of hard, you know, coming from like 92, where I was expected to, you know, win or get all these medals, and things didn't happen the way I thought they would.
It's a commitment that's all about erasing memories like this, and it's a commitment that needs a soulmate.
Kim wants no pity. She doesn't want people to think, oh, poor Kim, you know, trying to come back at 22, and she doesn't want anybody to feel sorry for her. No, just get off. Go ahead, next. Kim, you have a whole different look in your face. You know, until you get out there and decide that you're gonna make it happen, you know it, Kim. I mean, you got this chin down, no commanding, you know, if you're not gonna go up there and train like that, then there's no point in training.
This definitely takes a lot of nerve for me to be able to put myself back out there on the line and, you know, have people watching me again and knowing that I'm not the world champion right now anymore. It's hard to say, like, what my dreams are for gymnastics because I've already lived so many of them. I would love to say that right now I'm just pushing, you know, full steam ahead for Sydney, but that's not realistic for me right now. I need to see where my life is going.
Well, this day in Indianapolis tomorrow is only partly going to determine where her life is going. It's not like if she has a bad day that it's all over. This is just a litmus test to see where she fits in this comeback of hers.
Well, Al, comebacks are very difficult on a 22-year-old body. In fact, Kim had a sprained ankle just a month ago. Floor exercise is usually one of her best events, but she's not quite there. The start value here on this exercise is only out of a 9.8.
One of the things that made Kim so great was her power. She shows it right here, double layout.
She come back ready to go.
On the money on that tone, so good tonight. Didn't you feel when you came out and your ground was there? Good dance, good job.
We've seen Kim hit 2 for 2. She said winning in Indianapolis would not mean the gold medal. It would mean 8 events.
And this is trademark ZMESKAL right here. Huge tumbling.
ZMESKAL was 4th after the first rotation. Here in the second, she gets a 9.0. Her start value was a 9.4, meaning that was the highest score she could have gotten if she was perfect on everything. Now we're back to Dominique MOCEANU, who was in 3rd place after the first rotation.
Dominique's planning to do a couple of new vaults here in Indianapolis. In fact, one of the vaults she just learned before the Goodwill Games.
This first vault, actually what she injured her leg on. The landing is critical. It's a blind one. Oh, beautiful vault, you know. That hop on the landing, but the body position in the air, the knees and toes, excellent. I tell you, that was about as far away from looking hurt as I've ever seen.
Overcoming injury, KRISTEN Maloney, for example. She's coming up on the uneven bars there with her coach, Jack Carter. She's got a stress fracture, and still, she is competing to go for this national championship. First vault score 9.475 for MOCEANU.
You know, I asked Dominique if she would consider watering down. She said, no, I'm going out there, I'm going to chuck it.
This is what's so impressive to me. This is a new vault for MOCEANU, and it is tremendous. Handspring laid out front with a half twist.
That was beautiful.
Wow.
A higher start value than the first vault. That one was out of a 9.9.
A lot of the gymnastics experts were talking about this vault. It's tremendous, keeps a nice body position. Just that small step, little hop back on the landing.
And a higher score, 9.60, so you average the two, and it comes out to 9.537. All right, now from Penn Argyl, Pennsylvania, we've been following on NBC this year the outstanding performances of KRISTEN Maloney. She has finally found a way to stand out. There always seemed to be someone else on the team that was the focus, but now she's got to be it.
Last year, this was her weakest event here at the National Championships. This year, it's one of her strongest. In fact, she has 2 moves named after her. The first one coming up right here. That's the Maloney 1.
And this is the Maloney 2 right here. First release coming right here. Coach Jack Carter standing by. Completely revamped uneven bars. Struggled at first, changed the routine around, new dismount.
All right!
right, they call themselves the Parkettes from Pennsylvania. Jack Carter, Bill and Donna Strauss. That's Donna in the background there. Kristen was 5th after the first rotation. And I think she may have made a statement here to get back into the mix.
Left hand over the bar. That was good.
This was incredible. She really has changed this routine for the best.
I'm glad
like
I
I
missed
said,
it.
the Maloney won. She competed this element at the World Championships in 1997. That's why it's named after her. And not just one move named after her, a second skill.
And Kristen Maloney's score is a 9.65, so she is going to be moving on up from her 5th place standing after the first rotation. Our leader remains Vanessa Atler. From Canyon Country, California, this 16-year-old has certainly been through the emotional ringer. She comes in as the co-national champion, but what a story there is there. Last year, in the 97 U.S. Nationals, she had a very comfortable lead when, on the uneven bars, it all came apart. As a result of that miss, she had to share the national championship with Christy Powell. She has not been able to put that miss behind her. In fact, earlier this year, at the 1998 American Cup, after nailing it in practice, she missed again. When the International Team Championship rolled around shortly after, it was obvious that Vanessa Atler had chronic problems on the uneven bars, and she and her coaches have tried everything.
At first, I think I was afraid to do bars and I wanted to stay away from it, didn't want to train at all. And now, I mean, I'm almost starting to like it a little bit more because, I mean, I went into training yesterday, and I did way better than I usually do when I come to meets and stuff. So I feel really prepared for it, and I'm just a lot happier now, and I don't feel like it's a problem anymore.
Her coach, Steve Rybacki, offered some advice. It's been an ongoing treatment.
I did like 3 routines in a row, and that was like really good for me. And he made me go yell outside. I can do bars like really loud on like the top of my lungs, and I'm like great on bars and stuff. And I kept on saying, and he saw it's not loud enough, and I had to keep on saying it. It was so funny, but it actually helped a little bit. It makes you feel a little bit more confident.
Well, Steve's wife, Beth, said that they've actually helped Vanessa prepare for these nationals by having these mini mock meets in their own gym, and she has not missed a routine in 2 weeks.
And all through training here in Indianapolis, she has looked actually much better, much more composed. Oh, but right there, just a flicker of nerves.
There as well.
Again, she's improvising right now. This is, oh.
What did you see, Tim?
Well, right from the get-go, she just doing a very easy mount. Her legs split. It's just a lack of concentration. She's thinking too far ahead about the dangerous skill and
almost loses it there. She has to get it back together. She has another important release skill, the Tkachev and a Komenich right here.
Her brain must absolutely be spinning.
I didn't expect this at all.
But it must be at the point for Vanessa Atler where every time she lets go of the bar, she doesn't know if she's going to be able to grab it again.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. What are you supposed to do on the mount? Hit the ball, and what'd you do?
You'll see it's right from the mount, just as Tim Daggett said. That's what Steve Rybacki is saying to Vanessa. There was a sorry there. There's a lot of regret.
From that point on, right?
Well, we're stunned to have seen it again, and I'm holding a printout of Vanessa's very own website where she said there was 6 months where I couldn't get my head together at all. It was almost like having an injury, a brain injury. Tim, is she out of this competition?
Well, I would say for this national championships, Vanessa Atler is out of the all-around race. You know, it's so ironic because we have seen her struggle in the past on the uneven bars. She gets to the competition, and even in warm-ups, she's having huge problems. However, she got here to Indy. She looked like she had it all together. Things were going great. She jumps up on the bars in the competition. a slight bit of panic right off the bat. You can't do bars when you're scared.
Well, Elfie, if she is out of it, who do you think's in it?
Well, I think consistency is going to win this competition. You have to look at KRISTEN Maloney. That is what she's known for. She's been having a terrific year. And also Dominique MOCEANU. She still has something to prove. It wasn't enough just to win Goodwill Games. She wants to win the championships.
It's a tight battle after 2 rotations, .075, the difference between Maloney and MOCEANU. An encouraging comeback so far for Kim ZMESKAL. Vanessa ATLER has fallen all the way to 14th. NBC sports coverage of the 1998 USA Gymnastics Championships continues from Indianapolis, Indiana. The first of 2 nights of competition, and the scores being accumulated here do count and will carry over. From Penn Argyl, Pennsylvania, our leader after 2 rotations is KRISTEN Maloney, and she's about to mount the beam.
This is KRISTEN's best event. She was the gold medalist at the Goodwill Games. A lot of difficulty in this routine, and in fact, it starts from a 10.0. She has a combination coming up that gives her 6/10 in 3 moves. Here it goes. Those 3 skills, 6/10 right there.
You see her coach, Donna Strauss, moving the board there. Donna tells me that KRISTEN is no problem with the 9-4, 9-5 routines, but sometimes is a little bit tight, doesn't let it all go. They have a little thing, they are looking for the queen-like performances on beam. When she does that, she says, we're not talking 9-4s or 5s, we're talking 9-7s and 9-8s.
Music in the background is not for this beam routine. It's for floor exercise and another gymnast. There are 4 events in 4 rotations that are being competed simultaneously. Elfie and Tim, by the way, are talking about start value. It's the combination of skills that tell you what the maximum score you can get is if you're perfect at everything you're attempting.
That's a great set.
And that is one she is very happy to be done with. You're always glad when beam is over.
Hey guys, she just continues to be Miss Consistency.
Well, she looks incredibly comfortable in this competition.
I feel like I over-rotated
Front top.
Meanwhile, Kim ZMESKAL is at the vault getting ready to go, and she's been impressive as well through 2 rotations.
First of all, full twisting Yurchenko.
And she does it again.
The start value, unfortunately, is only out of a 9.5. That was a vault that was big time in '92.
She's getting constant reminders about how much time has passed, isn't she? Oh, look at the score for KRISTEN Maloney in 9.725. That's likely good enough to hold her lead. This would conclude her 3rd rotation. We'll repeat the process tomorrow night. First vault score for ZMESKAL, 9.225.
Now, this is a much more difficult second vault. In fact, Mary Lee Tracy told me the other day in practice was the first time she took it outside her training gym.
Block it. Come on, squeeze tight. Squeeze.
Add an extra half twist here. Blind landing.
Yes!
Well, the coach loved it. You heard the commentary of Mary Lee Tracy. She's giddy. Well, she's hoping to take a signal from this about where she stands. Elfie, she looks like she stands pretty well.
Well, she's done an incredible job. I mean, she's gone 3 for 3 events.
You know, Mary Lee told me that she really, Kim, has lacked a little bit of self-confidence, but she is a super competitor, and she expects to see that coming back soon. That blind landing, hence you have that step forward, but a very big new vault for ZMESKAL.
Score of 9.4, average it out to 9.312. That should keep Kim ZMESKAL in the top 5. This is Columbia, Maryland's Elise Ray. She won the silver medal on the uneven bars at the Goodwill Games, and coincidentally, that's what she's going to be on right now.
Elise is coached by Kelly Hill, the same coach that coached '96 Olympian Dominique Dawes. This is her first year as a senior competitive. She's wonderful on this event. What makes her so unique is her form and her great swing.
Beautiful dismount.
This could be someone we see in Sydney, Australia.
Well, she was really thrown in the hot seat this summer. She had 2 major international competitions. It's obviously done her a lot of good. As I said, her bars, great swing, beautiful form. Take a look at this dismount, a double layout with a full twist, perfectly straight line right to the floor.
Yeah, she might have the best line in the competition.
Extremely smooth and hugs all around. KRISTEN Maloney in the middle of the leader. And look at the score for ELISE Ray, a 9.825. It's the highest score we've seen so far. Now it's up to Dominique MOCEANU to hold on to second place with that challenge from Ray. She is still to come on the uneven bars here at the USA Gymnastics National Championships. Meanwhile, can Vanessa ATLER find some way to ease the mental chaos that must be existing in her mind? After another disaster on the uneven bars that cost her the lead, Vanessa ATLER tries once again to move on, and not an easy apparatus to move on to, the balance beam.
Well, she's been in this position many times before. After an uneven bars comes the balance beam, and this is a tough event to come back on.
But that's the one thing, Elfie, that tells me that this young lady can do it, because she always bounces back, and she does it on beam, which is not an easy task. Little bit off there, though. Very difficult tumbling sequence. Landing on 2 feet as opposed to 1 makes it far more difficult.
She's changed one major skill in this routine. It's coming up right here. She's actually increased the value. It's a front flip in a pike position. She's aggressive.
And now the floor exercise, here's Jessica Coaches.
Her coach, Steve Rybecki, says Vanessa is in her last stage of gymnastics, just needs to compete more, needs to feel more at home. He even says she needs to fall more. Just every aspect of experience.
Well, she gets through it. There's tons of compassion, regret, support, friendship, frustration, all rolled into one, and it's only because of the talent that she's got, and she's shown it before.
Same mix. You got in control and then you broke your focus. Where did you break your focus?
On the after the series, and then I felt better after.
Well, she broke a little bit on this combination tumbling skill right here. Usually she's dead on, very powerful. Look at the height that she gets. Way up in the air, but right here she just doesn't plant it. She lets the arms flail in the air and causes a little bit of a break.
You know, they spend so much time together, Beth and Vanessa. You can just see for that 5 seconds when they just look into each other's eyes. They don't need to talk. They both know what's going on. She gets a lot of support. Now, let's go over to Dominique MOCEANU, who's about to go on the uneven bars. She's been challenged by KRISTEN Maloney and ELISE Ray.
Yeah, and she's looking very confident. You know, if you looked at her routines from a year ago, you might have thought she was on her way out, but she is definitely back. This should be easy for her. She had her first challenge on those 2 events that really put her knee to the test.
Another critical transition to the low bar right here. Oh, unbelievable. Big, big mistake right there. Feet supposed to go right on the bar. She's supposed to continue to a half turn.
Oh, and a sit down on the dismount.
Oh boy, that was something, you know, that dismount, it looked like she could have held on.
That shouldn't have happened.
You know, her mind was reeling a little bit. She improvised, made that mistake in the beginning, and I'm sure she was thinking about the mistake right here instead of this dismount, and Actually, it's not that under-rotated.
She had it.
I mean, maybe a step back, but
not a sit-down.
Well, you hear her coach, Luminita Mishenko, who coaches her in Romanian, in spite of the fact that Dominique has English as a first language. She does understand, and I'll tell you what, she understands this. 8.675 is not good enough to keep her near the top. So she takes a hit on the uneven bars. Now here's Jenny Thompson from Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's unbelievable, guys, to use the word comeback with a 17-year-old, but we must.
yeah, she was the junior national champion in 1993, and everything looked like it was pointing to an Olympic Games for this young lady. A teammate of Shannon Miller. Didn't work out.
All right, good job, Jenny.
Good start with that vault. She's coached by Mary Lee Tracy now. Mary Lee told me that she gets athletes after a lot of times they've been to 4 or 5 gyms. She says she really enjoys that. Really nice vault, just that hop forward on the landing.
Patience, Jenny, strong body.
9.375. We're seeing a lot of Mary Lee Tracy here today. This is a good nationals for her.
Well, you know, Mary Lee said that she realizes a lot of people thought she was washed up after 1996, and she said Jenny's really doing gymnastics for herself today.
Much more difficult vault, 1.5 twist.
All right.
A lot of power, but a really big step on that landing there.
What does that cost her?
That's going to be at least a couple of tenths, and you know, Al, she also had some slight knees in the air, and the body position wasn't as nice as we saw from someone like Dominique MOCEANU earlier on. You see, she gets a little bit piked in the air and a little bit of knees. A nice open at the end, but that big, big step.
Tell you what, she was in 7th after the last rotation. She gets a 9.5 there for a 9.437 average, and that's pretty good compared to the other numbers we've seen. In fact, it moves her up to 3rd place here after the 3rd rotation in Indianapolis. KRISTEN Maloney still has the lead over Elise Ray. Kim ZMESKAL'S, she's knocking on the door. Dominique still involved. Vanessa ATLER moving up ever so slightly. Some people crumble under the pressure of being the favorite. KRISTEN Maloney is obviously thriving on it, as she has done nothing but hold on to her lead. Meanwhile, if you want to know what Vanessa ATLER is feeling like, there you go. NBC Sports coverage of the 1998 USA Gymnastics Championships continues from Indianapolis, Indiana. The first of 2 nights of competition. KRISTEN Maloney, the leader. She's got a website. We've talked at length about Vanessa ATLER, who we're about to see. If you'd like to check out what the gymnasts are thinking about themselves, a good place to find out is at msnbc.com. Well, you wonder, from where does Vanessa ATLER draw the energy, the confidence to somehow get through it?
I tell you, well, if you're talking about energy, the most dramatic skill of the competition comes right off the bat. This mount, very new for Vanessa, and almost mind-blowing. Double layout punch front.
That is some move.
It's a stunning pass.
That's how she won the gold medal in the Goodwill Games in floor exercise.
Come on. Press.
Almost stepped out. Well, you hear the coaching and support of Beth Rybacki in the background, and the way Vanessa gets through this, and you find it out on our website in her diary, she's just a hip kid. She's got a very good attitude about things and beats herself up to a point.
She was in great need of a new look on floor, a mature look. This routine was choreographed by Nancy Roach, and I like it a lot.
Thank goodness for 2 days.
Yeah, she has another shot at this, but this was a great exercise. As Tim mentioned, the tumbling is just outstanding. Look at this skill, double layout, perfect body position. She rebounds into the punch front and then adds a dance jump element. That is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Should be a 10.
Well, Vanessa, I don't know. A 9.85. It was beautiful. And the smiles are back. That moves her back into contention after the disaster on uneven bars earlier. Now we get another chance to see whether Jennie Thompson can keep this up on successive apparatus. She's obviously getting set to go on the uneven bars.
You know, you have to add Jennie to that injured list as well. She had a rough year after the World Championships in '97. She had shoulder surgery for a torn rotator cuff. Then in February, in her comeback, she had a torn right calf muscle. She just won this qualifier prior to coming to the national championships, so she's back on track.
Push out. Up and. Get it. Turn it and squeeze. Take it out. Come on, Jen. Swing it. Swing out, right? Come on, Jen. Come on, Jen. Swing out. Come on. Swing out and find it, find it, find it.
Blind landing.
She found it. Look at this, the jump in her step.
Jen, you can do it. You are confident. You are good. Believe that.
Final event now tonight for Dominique Moceanu.
And you know, Al, when a gymnast grows 6 inches, it usually has devastating effects. It's only made her better. New mount for her.
Actually, a brand new routine. She's really changed the look of this routine totally. She gets a lot of points through combination skills.
Calma. Susumaru.
As Elfie said, much of balance beam is all about combining elements together, both acrobatic and leaps and jumps.
Combinations such as that will give her some bonus skills. She really takes advantage of the code of points that way, Tim. Very tough jump. That's called a wolf jump, a full turn.
Well, this is the apparatus where she had one of the great failings in the Olympic Games in Atlanta, and you get into some deep psychology in trying to get an athlete to get that out of their mind every time they get set to remount it, but it looks as though Dominique's getting past that.
Well, you know, she keeps saying the same thing over and over. I need to prove to everyone I'm back, and you know that she didn't want to end on a bad note like what just happened on the uneven bars.
Uneven bar score for Jennie Thompson, 9.625. She continues to do well and is in very good shape for tomorrow night. Now, Kim ZMESKA'S is chalking up for her chance on the uneven bars, while the score of Dominique Moceanu is extremely high, 9.80, so she is back in the mix and set up well for tomorrow night.
You know, Al, this is the place where Kim, if she had a weak event when she was at the top of her game, it was certainly the uneven bars, and it's been where she has had to put the most work in this comeback. Little bit close there.
Some form deductions.
What happened, she came a little bit too close on that release skill and couldn't combine it to the next element, to the low bar, well at all. Well, she is definitely fighting through this routine, but it's not a good one. New dismount for her, double layout.
the start value will not be high for this exercise.
Hey, you got through it, all right? Come on.
Here, Mary Lee Tracy, you got through it. She had 3 good events. Not necessarily the right way to finish. I mean, that's the lasting memory, but Kim ZMESKAL has made a mark with her comeback tonight here at Market Square Arena.
The way you pulled that over the bar.
She's talking about that one instance that you recognized when she came over the low bar. And now KRISTEN Maloney, and this will wrap up tonight's opening night. She needs an 8.675 to maintain her lead.
Well, you thought Vanessa Atler's opening tumbling pass was awesome. This is incredible. The only female in this competition to do a full twisting double layout.
And one of the few in the world.
This with a stress fracture in her leg.
Come on, get it up, and up.
Come on, nice and easy.
That's Donna Strauss. She couldn't hold it. KRISTEN Maloney. Not her best event, but she had a good cushion coming in. Now, you know, this is a very difficult time for KRISTEN.
It's right there.
Been to the prom, and now college looms. And then there's the big Olympic commitment, and can she fit that all in?
Yeah, she said she's still not sure. She thought about coming here with a t-shirt saying, "Don't ask, I don't know."
Our gymnastics fans would be sitting at home going, what do you mean? I mean, you have to go to the Olympics, but that is not how she sees it. A very satisfying day. Kim ZMESKAL, 8.575.
Not a great bar score, but all in all, a very good day for Kim.
So, night 1 of 2 is complete, and it looks as though Vanessa Atler, with the help of KRISTEN Maloney, isn't having much of a problem putting some of the struggles of the evening behind her. Maloney's floor exercise score 9.40. That is going to be good enough to hold on to her lead. Dominique MOCEANU, though, moving up into 2nd place. Vanessa Atler is in 6th. Kim ZMESKAL is in 9th. Our wrap-up in a moment. Tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on NBC Sports, the final round of the 1998 USA Gymnastics Championships. Just who is the very best? Right now the answer is KRISTEN Maloney. Earlier this year on NBC, we encountered an engaging, humorous gymnast who has the fire. Sanglan, as you may know, suffered a paralyzing injury at the Goodwill Games. But now she tells us that that same fire is driving her through her ongoing rehabilitation. She remains at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York, and there'll be an English tutor starting next week, maybe even college. Her parents came from China and remain with her. Her attitude remains good and tough, and she said she'd be in our TV audience tonight. So Sanglan, may the love that there is for you here in Indianapolis help carry you and help strengthen you, because here we're thinking of you always.